Okay, hello and welcome. In this behind the scenes, we are going to take you obviously behind the scenes in the making of our Yoga with Perfectionism series. And I'm so excited for this series for you guys. It's just going to blow your mind, both in terms of the teachings that are in the series and then also in terms of the sequencing of the hatha yoga classes and the yin and the restorative. You are just going to love it. There's 4 hatha yoga classes and a yin and a restorative so far, and the 6 of the 14 that we filmed. But in this vlog, you're going to see behind the scenes from the inception, right from the idea, where the idea comes from, all the research, how I support the idea with research, bring it to life, and write the classes, both the creative writing of it, writing the sequencing of the postures, also right down to filming, how we set up our studio in our apartment because we're filming inside right now, down to rendering, editing, Tim doing that stuff, and also taking it past that point to responding to comments to you guys. So the whole thing, all the way through, you get to see what's involved, including my messy desk here. What do they say about a messy desk is the sign of a creative mind? So that's the whole thing. You're going to get to see the whole thing, and I think you're probably going to be a little surprised at, I think you'll be surprised because you guys see a 1-hour episode. And really what's involved in a 1-hour episode starts like months before. It takes me a good month to research a series, come up with it, do all the research, and put a class together into a series. It's just a very time-consuming endeavor. And so I want you guys to be able to see this, and I know you guys enjoy these kind of vlogs, so enjoy! Okay, so Tim's already edited the video, and right now it's rendering. It's rendering 2 videos. This one at the top is for YouTube. This one is for iTunes. And this rendering will take about 5 hours. So it will be rendering while we're actually filming our second video this afternoon. So you can see here's the little yellow sequence here, and it's gone for 4 minutes and 59 seconds, 5 minutes now, and it says it's got 1 hour and 43 minutes, but Tim thinks it's going to take about 5 hours to do that.
That's the first video.
Oh, that's the first one. Yeah, the first one. And so the other one is about the same.
And then the third one's just the audio file.
Oh, the third one's the audio file. Do any of you do this just with audio?
Pardon?
I'm asking people if anybody do it with just the audio. Okay, I just did a whole run through of my class. This class is going to be a hatha flow class using a lot of the blanket. So what we're going to be doing is using that blanket a lot and sliding around on it, sliding it on the hardwood floor, kind of like that. And yeah, so I just did a whole run through just to make sure. Gosh, this lighting's terrible. We need Tim. That's kind of better. Just make sure I knew what's going to be happening. And so now I'm going to go get changed and get Tim up from his nap so that he can film it. And then we'll have 4 videos in the cam. We're halfway through now, and then we have 2 more videos to film tomorrow, a restorative and another hatha. Okay, so we did it. We're finished day 2 of filming for Yoga with Melissa. We've got the second hatha yoga class filmed. It was such a fun class. I'm so hot. I'm really sweating and disgusting now. But I think you're gonna love that class. It was a class about the unstoppable flow of life. And it feels really good now because we're well past the halfway mark of the filming. I call them filming marathons when we film for 3 days and we film 6 classes. So tomorrow we have a restorative class to film and another hatha class, and then we're done for this week. And then for us, that means that we're done filming now because we're taking 2 weeks off at Christmas. It means we'll be done our content until the end of January, which is really exciting. So this is good. We're heading out now. It's gorgeous right now. We've still got a little bit more light, and Tim wants me to film some B-roll of him on his scooter. He's done He's got this electric scooter, which is super fun. And he has this video on his YouTube channel, which he did a big guy on a scooter video, and it's got lots of views. So he wants to do a follow-up review of his scooter. And yeah, I'm gonna get some B-roll of him going on his scooter. So that'll be fun. It's a really nice day out right now. It'll be nice to get outside again today. We were already out this morning. We go out every morning for a walk, which is so nice. We live in such a nice area. We're so lucky. Okay, so the restorative yoga class is done, and the teachings in that restorative yoga class are so incredible. It's about letting go of guilt, and as perfectionists are more prone to guilt than other people, and so there are strategies for letting go of mistakes in that class that are just awesome. And Tim's doing the editing right now, so let me show you that before I go on about this. He's got the genius at work here. Editing.
On letting go of guilt, you're going to need.
So this is what it looks like when he edits. And just starting the process before we get some lunch. Are you hungry? We're both hungry and exhausted. So we have one more class to film this afternoon, and then we'll have filmed 6 classes this week. But I was saying to Tim just before I turn this on that by Friday I'll have filmed 9 classes this week, and that's just like the old days back when I used to teach before going full-time online. I used to teach 10 yoga classes a week, plus see Thai massage clients and also do yoga therapy clients, and that was a lot of lifting bodies too. And I just have no idea how I used to do it because I'm completely bagged right now. And I know a lot of you do that still, and it's just exhausting. And Tim also said back then too, there wasn't like restorative and yin regularly thrown into the mix. So I guess, you know, one, I wasn't in my 40s then. I was back then, I was in my 30s, but still, I mean, it's just completely, it's too much. It's too much, and I'm glad that this isn't our regular schedule because it's a lot. And tomorrow we'll be filming, we'll be doing a live class, Yoga for Depression, on Friday. And I'm really looking forward to doing that with you guys too. It's a restorative class, and the teachings in that are amazing too. So really looking forward to connecting with all of you, and I'm so looking forward to you guys getting this series. And after I've had some lunch and I've refueled a bit, I'm going to show you behind the scenes of how I put this all together from the beginning, from the research stage, how it goes, how I get the notes together and all that, because it's kind of cool too. Hey, I just finished lunch, and after lunch I told you I would share with you a little bit of the process of how, well, the whole process start to finish of how I come up with a series and then see it through from research to filming. So how I come up with a series is actually by listening to you guys and reading your comments and hearing what you are asking for. So this series on perfectionism came up because one of my students who's a member, her name is Kirsti, said something about perfectionism, and she may have said she wanted a class on perfectionism, or she mentioned something on perfectionism, and it lit something up in me. So something in me resonated. Sometimes I'll get like, it's really embodied for me. So sometimes when my friends are talking to me about something, it's like all the hairs stand up on the back of my head, or I'll get like, it's like all the cells in my body go like, they light up. It's really visceral. So that's what happened. So that's what happened when Kirsti said that. It was like, I just knew I had to do something with it. So that was stage 1. She mentioned the perfectionism thing, and it was like, oh, I gotta do that. So then the next thing I do is I start looking at what resources are out there that resonate with me. So let me show you that step. So here it is on the computer. I wrote up the 14 class series, and then I start writing up the classes. And there's the actual class in large text, because that's how I have to take it to put it on my Kindle so that I can actually read it. And at the beginning, there are things that I have to do for YouTube. So I have to write up cards and links to things, tags, keywords, a YouTube description. I have to write up an email that goes out to you, a Facebook post, an Instagram post, Instagram tags, Twitter post, Pinterest posts, and a website post. So there's lots of steps that have to go into that. And then once I do all of that, then I take all that and I put it on I put this part, the video, onto my Kindle so I can teach it. And because there's so many teachings in my classes, I don't memorize it. I don't go off the cuff because the teachings are important enough to me. Then I want to make sure I get it right. And so then I put all of that on my Kindle. And so I'll show you how I do that too. So I have a folder on my Kindle called Yoga Classes to Film. And right now in here there are only 3 classes. So each class from the series will be in here. And this is the last class we have to film this afternoon on choice. So you can see all the stuff that goes into like the website and stuff. Oh look, I need to redo this because it's too small. So I didn't make it big enough for me to do. So it's good I came in here and looked at this for you, with you, because I would go blind trying to do that this afternoon. So maybe let me go back and show you another one. No, that's the same one. So this was the one I filmed this morning, the restorative class. And it's got everything in it that we did, the reading and the poem. Some of you ask why, for me to put the poem up on the web and stuff, but I can't do that because of copyright. If I do, I'm going to get sued. So that's why the poems don't go up online. So yeah, that's it. And then there's one more stage, which is the scheduling of them when they're going to go live. So what I've done this past year is I've written out the whole months myself. This was it took a long time, but this year I've ordered a media journal that I'm going to be using, and I'll show you guys that another time. It hasn't come yet, so I'll show it to you when it comes. But so this has all the content that comes out. So you can see that was the week that I was planning the Perfectionism series. This is the week that we're filming it. And so we've got a live class this Friday, and then you can start to see when the classes come out, and into December when these classes are coming out, and we schedule in live classes too, and then we've got a scheduled in break there where we're going to be away. So that's how that all works. It's all very planned out. So that's my part of the process. Once that's all done, that's all I do. Then it gets all handed over to Tim from there, and he does everything else from there. So he takes care of the editing, he takes care of the uploading, he takes care of mostly all the comments on YouTube. When the video first comes out, I'll come in and look at the comments on the first day, maybe reply to a few of them. Also comments that are more involved that he can't respond to, I respond to. But once that first part's all taken care of, then it goes to him and he does everything else. So that's kind of how we distribute the workload. I have the lion's share before of the work, and then he has the lion's share of work after. And it works out probably to equal, because it takes me weeks before and it takes him weeks after to look after it. So I have so much respect for the one-man team. I don't know how you guys do it. It's incredible. So that's a little bit more of how it works and how it comes together. And it's for you guys it's a 1-hour show, and for us it's like a multi-week effort. It's a full-time job for us. Okay, one last thing I wanted to share with you before we film the last class, and that is the piece that I realized I forgot to share with you on poetry, how I get the poetry for the classes. And this is also an important component. So one of the things that I do is in the evenings, I sit and I read poetry, and I kind of collect them, almost like you might forage for mushrooms or vegetables or flowers in the garden, and I collect them in documents, and then I have them for future use. So I don't want you to think I buy all my books either. I try and get as many of them as I can from the library. So These are some poetry books that I'm foraging from right now to find poems for our yoga classes right now. So this is a poet called Clea Roberts. She's from the Yukon, and you'll be hearing her name a lot in my classes. I am just absolutely loving her poetry. It's a really nice blend of spirituality and nature, and that just fits really well with yoga. Hermann Hesse is another poet who I've just discovered, and I'm also quite liking his blend of nature and spirituality. And what I do is I find the books that I want, and then I put them on hold and I get them out of the library. Some of Robert Bly's stuff I've been liking, not all of it. And Jenny Haysom, I think some of these, but yeah, not too many of them. So it's hit or miss, but it's a nice way to spend the evenings reading through poetry books and then collecting them into documents. And then I have them and I can look at them later and pull them out for yoga classes. Okay, so we did it. We got our 6 classes filmed for the first 6 classes of 14 classes for the Perfectionism series. And it feels, whew, so good to be done. Are you happy, Tim?
I'm thrilled.
Yeah. Tim, we just finished the photos for the last hatha yoga class of the first 6 on choice. And so Tim's editing and rendering and uploading. And then this Friday we'll be doing a restorative yoga class for depression before we start releasing the Perfectionism series. So that's it. That's it. You get that look behind the scenes of what it takes to batch film classes. And that's how we do it with Yoga with Melissa now. So thanks so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and say, I can't wait for the Perfectionism series in the comments. See you soon.
Too fast for me.